chosen, listen with your soul. This is an urgent message, a divine warning from the throne of God. The spiritual space is shifting. Heaven has given the signal, and those who bear the M and the crescent moon in their palms are being called into the appointed time. You are in the right place. God has orchestrated every step for your soul to be here at the right time. If your hand bears the mark, your soul is marked. You are destined for the divine explosion that is about to take place. The M and the crescent moon are the language of heaven, engraved directly onto your body. It is proof that you have been given a greater mission than you ever thought possible. Those who bear this mark are being called, not to peace, but to explosion, liberation, and the remaking of destiny. July 7th is the date that has been marked in the sacred calendar. This is the moment when the gate opens. This is the moment of fire. This is the moment of heaven moving. Your soul is vibrating to a new frequency, a frequency of movement, of summoning, of a fire that has never burned within you before. This call is not soft. It is a trumpet call from above, reserved for the souls who have been placed. And if you are listening, you are ready. The explosion will begin from within you, the deepest place in your spirit where the M and the crescent moon have been carved to awaken you in due season. Now is the time to receive. Now is the time to step in. Now is the time to burn with the glory of the one who calls you by your name. If you have the letter M or crescent moon on your palm, what you are about to hear will explain why you have felt disconnected, experienced invisible battles, and why July 7th is a turning point for your destiny. Watch this video until the end to receive divine confirmation, clear spiritual guidance, and specific actions to activate your heavenly fire. Like, subscribe, and comment below the phrase, "I am ready to step into the fire," as a spiritual declaration. Because what you are about to hear is not just information, it is a call from heaven. And when your soul realizes this truth, everything begins to change. July 7th is a spiritual appointment set by heaven itself. I tell you this as a revelation bearer. July 7th is the day of activation, the day of opening the gates, the day of liberation. It is the moment when heaven opens its gates to those who have been designated to bear the mark. There are days in human history when God not only witnesses, but directly intervenes. He stamps in time those rare moments when destiny is no longer delayed, and the spiritual gates are open to those who are ready. July 7 is one of those days. At the same time that the world is rejoicing, waving flags, and setting off fireworks to celebrate freedom, God is preparing for a spiritual liberation greater than any independence known to man. Heaven is at work, not in the sounds of celebration, but in the cracking of chains breaking in the spirit realm. While the world celebrates freedom in the natural, I am releasing freedom in the supernatural, he said. Souls that have been bound by invisible bonds, doubt, fear, curses, inherited failures, are being set free. No paperwork is needed, no debate is needed. This is a release from divine authority. The sky is thinning. The veil between heaven and earth is fading. Those who live by physical eyes will not see it, but the awakened souls of God will sense it clearly. The atmosphere is changing. Heaven is drawing near. Something is opening. Something is calling. The veil is thinning. The realm of heaven is closing. Everything that has been delayed will be accelerated. Promises that have been waiting will begin to move. Prayers that seem to fall on deaf ears will be answered with supernatural speed. Angels have begun to move. The flow of grace has been opened. What was delayed will now be delivered. What was held back will be released. And on July 7th, the invisible chains that surround your calling will be broken. Not the chains on your limbs, but the chains in your mind, in your blood, in your inner self-talk. The old mindset will burn away. The fear will melt away. The feeling of unworthiness will be replaced by fire and a crown. For God says, the chains are not around your body, they're around your calling. And on July 7th, they break. This is the door that leads to a new phase, a new season, a new identity. Those who walk through it will no longer live as they did before. They will bear the mark of fire for the rest of their lives. They will no longer belong to the old lower level. This door opens once, and those who walk through it will never be the same again. The door is open. It is ordained. Your soul has been called. Now is the time to walk through. This is not a whisper from the spirit realm. This is an alarm bell ringing from the throne of God, not a gentle inspiration, not a message to nod and ignore. This is a red flag for souls sleeping in a season when they should be awake. The trumpet has sounded, the tone has been sounded, the signal is clear. Heaven is summoning. Heaven is not suggesting. Heaven is summoning. This is not advice. This is a spiritual command. This is a directive from the throne of glory, given not to those curious enough, but to those who have been appointed to carry the kingdom in the end times. Whoever recognizes this call will enter a breakthrough, sealed before they were born. The purpose of this is clear. This is a call to call the elect back into place. Those who are out of step will be reoriented. Those who are weary will be reignited. Souls who are preparing will be roused to action. No more delay. No more waiting for orders. The order has been given. Now is the time to stand up. Let those who have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. These words are not for all ears. Only those souls who have been awakened, who have vibrated to the breath of God, can tune into this frequency. They cannot ignore it. They cannot pretend not to hear, because the M on their hand has responded. The moon in their palm has lit up when God speaks. The chosen ones always know when God calls. And now is that moment. For those who step into the moment, clarity will come like lightning in the night. They will receive new power, see visions as clear as fire, and walk with unprecedented speed. No more entanglement, no more doubt, no more being pulled by lesser things. Those who respond will walk in clarity, fire, and divine speed. O marked one, this is your Kairos moment. This is a moment stamped on your personal spiritual map. One time, one door, one summons. If you feel this, you are in the right place, at the right time, at the right destiny. Do not take your eyes off the gate. Do not let your heart grow cold, for the spiritual door opens only for the season. It does not reopen on demand. Whoever misses this moment is lost to the flow of heaven. Whoever enters will never be the same. This is not inspiration. This is a life and death awakening, and you have been called by name in that trumpet. Chosen one, let me speak directly to your soul. The exhaustion you feel is not from work, but from the spiritual battle you are engaged in. Your body is heavy, your mind is torn in two, your heart is pounding as if something huge is approaching. You wake up tired, not because of lack of rest, but because your soul is struggling in a new vibrational level, a level that only the mark can feel. You are experiencing the spiritual phenomenon before the explosion. Strange dreams come without explanation. Nameless sadness appears in the middle of seemingly peaceful days. You begin to feel lost in the crowd, even among people you used to be close to. This is not disorientation. This is a symptom of preparation. Preparation to be raised to a level that your soul has long awaited. Whenever God prepares to raise someone to a new level, hell reacts first, and that reaction is always accompanied by pressure, with pain, with chaos. The enemy senses fire on your life and moves to stop it before it spreads. Satan has seen the fire. He has smelled the summons. He knows that the person with the M in the crescent moon is not just special, but a threat to the entire system of darkness. So the bad dream appears as a warning. Unexplained fatigue is your body's response to the new frequency. Small accidents, unexplained instability are the efforts of the dark forces to slow you down, to throw you off track. Betrayals from loved ones, from people you once trusted, are a process of purification. God is separating you from connections that no longer serve your mission. Every event has spiritual meaning. Every emotion is a signal from heaven. Spiritual warfare does not seek out anonymous people. Every attack is proof that you are valuable. You hold something that the enemy wants to steal or destroy, and that confirms you are destined for greatness. Hell attacks what heaven is about to use. When hell sees the light in you, it strikes first. But that proves it. You are very close to the explosion. The pressure is the signal. The pressure is the prophetic sign. Just as before a volcano erupts, the ground begins to shake. Small tremors signal an impending explosion. Your life is shaking because your destiny is rising. You're not breaking down. You're building up to break through. Your soul is not breaking. It is being squeezed to break through at the right time. You are close to the explosion point. This is the final stage of a spiritual pregnancy. And just like childbirth, the most painful stage always comes right before the moment of flowering. All the screams of hell are directed at you not to hinder, but because they know that what is about to be born cannot be stopped. The closer you are to ignition, the louder the warfare gets. So when the pressure is on, know this. You are on the verge of exploding, and the fire will not stop halfway. It will go all the way, and you are the torch that is lit for this age. MN Crescent, stand up straight. For what is about to happen within you is not destruction, it is rebirth. The explosion that God is about to unleash does not come to crush you, but to free your soul from everything that has held you back from your divine destiny. He does not come to burn you down. He comes to burn up everything that no longer serves your calling. This is not destruction, it is divine reconstruction. God does not mess around. He shatters what is off-axis, misaligned, and obsolete, to build what is unshakable. He shatters your silent compromises, your genetic limitations, your shells of false security, so that within you a new person will rise, bearing his name, his fire, and the speed of heaven. In the natural world, an explosion means chaos. But in the spiritual world, an explosion is a sign of heavenly order. What you think is broken, God is clearing the old foundation to lay a new one. And on that foundation, he will build something solid, unshakable, unsinkable. Suddenly there was a sound from heaven like the roaring of a mighty windstorm, Acts 2:2. The word suddenly is not an accident. It is the divine seal of every heavenly intervention. When God acts, he does not wait for anyone to prepare. He acts at the exact moment when the soul is ready, even if the mind does not understand. And when the word sounds, all the spiritual realms move. God can do in a second what a man cannot do in a lifetime. A moment from heaven can end 40 years of wandering. A word can break a cycle that has lasted for generations. God can do in a second what man can't do in a decade. And the coming explosion doesn't need much time. You just need to be in the right place. The effect of this explosion is one of transition. The chains will be broken, but then the mantle will be given. The head will be crowned. The name will be re-established. The once anonymous will step into the light. The once forgotten will be anointed for a whole new era. No one has given you authority but heaven. And now heaven acts. You were made to stand in this explosion. You will not collapse. You will not burn. You will stand. The fire that is coming is not meant to consume you, but to burn away everything that has kept you in the lowlands. What no longer serves your calling will be consumed by the holy fire. And what remains you, refined, strong, ready to carry the fire to the world. The fire is not meant to burn you, but to burn away what no longer serves your calling. The fire is about to fall, and when it touches you, you will no longer be the same person. You will be on a new path. And the world will know God has lit up one man to shake the whole era. If you bear the letter M in the crescent moon, do not look outward for change, for in all of God's works, he begins from within. It is not the outside world that needs to be transformed first, it is you. It is within you that heaven first wants to set fire to. God works from the inside out, never the outside in. Every spiritual revolution begins with the inner structure. Every new kingship requires a spiritual foundation strong enough to carry the fire of heaven. Without an inner transformation, every external breakthrough will soon collapse under the weight of the blessing. God never builds a castle on sand. He is testing your foundation. A spiritual storm is about to break, but it is not destroying, it is measuring. And God is not pouring fire on a soul that is weak. He is reinforcing. He is strengthening the instrument, not because he is withholding power, but because he is preparing the vessel. God is not withholding power, he is strengthening the vessel. And now God is about to detonate within you. Not outside, not in your circumstances, but right where you have hidden your fears, your shame, your hidden prejudices. God is about to detonate everything that has held you back internally. He will break down the walls that have kept you from courage, from light, from the truth of your divine identity. The barriers in your mind will not stand against the real fire of heaven. And if you have lost something recently, a relationship, an opportunity, a comfort zone, know this: God is not taking away. He is cleaning. He is cutting away the rotten part to save the root. He is removing what cannot follow you into the new phase. The wounds you have experienced are not a sign of retreat. They are evidence that you are being reshaped. Everything that seems broken is being rebuilt. The doors that close are the gates that God has closed so that no one can come back in. The people who leave are the separations so that you are no longer bound. Before God gives you the next level, He first builds in you the strength to carry it. Before God gives you the next level, He builds in you the strength to carry it. See clearly, you are being transformed. Not figuratively, but spiritually. You are being forged, being put through the fire, being reshaped to bring fire to this generation. Don't run from the process. Go into it. Let every vibration in your spirit lead you into the divine explosion that is destined for you. God is not angry with you. He is molding you. He is rebuilding you according to your original design. Not distorted, not fake, but the original. Now is the time to surrender. Now is the time to open your heart. Now is the time for the first fire to start within you, because when the inside is activated, the whole world around you will change, and people will no longer recognize you. They will see God in you, shining, unshaken, carrying the shock of heaven. You cannot bring the old vessel to receive the new fire. You cannot enter July 7th with the old mind, the old habits, or the old energy. Because that day is not an ordinary day. It is the opening of the gates of heaven. It is the trigger point. It is the spiritual moment that was written into your destiny before you were born. And to receive that divine fire, you must be prepared. Unprepared, you are rejected. Unclean, you are not receptive. God does not place new glory on a messy foundation. So you who have the M and the crescent on your palms, you who are marked by heaven, hear this clearly. This is a time of preparation. This is a summons for your souls. First, you must be quiet. In the days leading up to July 7th, silence is the spiritual weapon. Not silence of the lips, silence of the soul. Turn off the noise of social media, negative news, useless conversations, because every noise is an arrow shot into awareness. Every unproductive conversation is an open door to distraction. When you silence the noise of life, you will hear the voice of God, and it is in that silence that revelation will grow, like a seed in a cleared land. When silence has settled within you, enter a higher form of preparation, fasting. This is not a form of fasting for religious performance. It is a sacred act of separating yourself from material temptations. When your body weakens, your soul will rise stronger. When you deny the flesh, you will awaken spiritual hunger. And when you hunger in the right way, the sky will rain at the right time. In the process, keep the flame of worship burning. Don't wait for a miracle to sing. Sing for the miracle to happen. Worship like Paul and Silas in the dungeon where an earthquake from heaven broke all chains. Worship is the call that opens the gates of heaven. It is the invisible weapon that brings heaven down to earth. If you are too tired to sing, then you need to sing even more. Because the song from the depths of pain is the song that unlocks the most powerful spiritual power. Next, use your mouth as a destiny-shaping tool. Begin to declare God's promises over every area of your life. Your health, your finances, your family, your mind, your future. Because when you declare, you are ringing the bells of heaven into action. When you speak, you are giving the angels a command to move. If you remain silent, you delay the explosion. If you speak clearly, you activate divine velocity. Finally, you must let go of the past. Every painful memory, every toxic relationship, every old habit cannot follow you through the door of July 7. This is the gate of the new. No one is allowed to carry old baggage. Those who refuse to let go will be pulled back. Those who still hold on to the old will slip away from destiny. Letting go is not a loss, it is an opening for glory to pour in. And now, if you are hearing these words, it is not by chance. Your soul has been chosen. The mark on the palm of your hand is a testimony. All you need to do is prepare. When you walk right in the days ahead, you will not fear the fire. You will become the fire. When July 7 comes, you will not stand outside the gate, you will walk through. And when you walk through, all chains will fall away, and you will never be the same again. When the fire from heaven touches your soul, nothing will remain the same. Every structure that is not in line with your destiny will collapse. Every shell that covers your divine identity will be burned away. Nothing will escape the fire that comes from heaven itself. And when that explosion occurs, you will no longer be bound by anything that has previously held you captive. The release is instantaneous. The inferiority complex, the inner limitations, the invisible curses that have clung to your blood for generations will be completely broken. The words that made you fear yourself, the experiences that made you doubt your worth, the seemingly invisible shackles that have bound your whole life will all be cut off in the moment the fire falls. Whatever has held you back will no longer have a place. When the spiritual fire falls, the chains break in an instant. The release is followed by speed. Your destiny will no longer walk. It will rush forward like an arrow released from a bow. Every previous delay, whether in finances, relationships, dreams, or realizations, will be replaced by a heavenly acceleration. You will be in the right place at the right time with the speed of heaven. No restraint will be strong enough to hold you back. What was delayed for years will be made up for in days. Doors that were closed will open automatically to the anointed step. And as you step forward, a spiritual portal will open, no longer blocked, no longer restricted. The prayers you have uttered from the deepest part of your soul, words that seem to fall into the void, will now be received, activated, and poured back upon you. You will feel a continuous flow between heaven and your soul. There, the word of God will pour down like rain. The light will no longer be veiled. The power will no longer be delayed. The gates of heaven are not just open, they are so wide open that you cannot turn back. At that point, all visions become clear. There is no more confusion. There is no more doubt. You see clearly who you are. You feel an irresistible urge. You know what you need to do. No need to ask. Every cloud that has ever covered your identity will lift. God's voice will become louder than every other voice in your head. No one needs to convince you anymore. You see, you know, you are ready to act. Then comes the transfer. Not just spiritual, but financial, opportunity, resources. Resources that were held back because you were not ready are now released into your hands. Business opportunities will appear. Doors of finance, partnerships, leadership, land will open not by natural effort, but by divine design. When you are aligned with heaven, the financial flow from heaven will flow through you unhindered. You are no longer asking for permission. You are entrusted. And in all of this, angels are sent. Not just symbols, but spiritual realities. You are no longer fighting alone. Angels will fight with you, guide you, protect you every step of the way. You will begin to have clearer dreams. Revelations will come faster, more often, deeper. New spiritual levels will be opened. You will live in a new spiritual climate, and your soul, after years of gasping for air, will breathe deeply into the atmosphere of glory. This is the result of a spiritual explosion. No one can buy it. No one can replace you in this process. If you are chosen, and you bear the M, the crescent moon, then you are the anointed one for this explosion. And you will survive not just to tell the story, but to light up your generation. When you open your mouth and speak in faith, the spirit world must listen. Every word you utter carries more than sound. It carries command. It carries power. It carries life. It carries fire. Your mouth, the chosen one of God, marked with the letter M and the crescent moon on the palm of your hand, is the gateway for heaven to reveal His will on earth. Not a word from your mouth will fall in vain when spoken in the right place, at the right time, with the right anointed identity. Affirm this. Your mouth is the window to the spirit world. When you speak, angels move. When you speak in the spirit, the earth shakes. When you speak truth from your mouth, hell trembles. Not because you shout, but because you speak something real, something living, something spiritual. You are not just describing reality, you are remaking reality. What you proclaim shapes the environment in which you live. Every word is creative, and your world will follow the pattern of your words. That is why God put weapons in the mouths of His chosen ones. Not swords of steel, but the anointed word. Many chains do not require a breaking arm, they only require a timely declaration. The chains of ancestors, the chains of guilt, the chains of invisible limitations, all will break under the resonance of a spirit-anointed word. No one will see the chain, but your soul will feel the moment it breaks. And when it breaks, your whole destiny is released. A declaration is not a random statement. It is a sacred ritual. It is a prophetic act. It is a destiny activator. Begin with the words I declare or I speak forth. Do not be vague. Do not be general. Speak clearly, powerfully, covering all the vital areas of the soul: freedom, identity, mission, speed, breaking, and receiving. You are not performing a religious ceremony. You are performing a law in the invisible world. Stand up and say these words with all your understanding and faith. I declare I will not miss the explosion God has scheduled. I declare every invisible prison around my calling is breaking. I declare that 7/7 will be my day of release, realignment, and reigniting. I declare the delay is over and divine speed is falling on my life. I declare that what God explodes cannot be rebuilt by man. Every word spoken is a trumpet blast on the battlefield. No more waiting, no more hesitation. Your word is a spiritual command. When you declare something that is in accord with heaven, it becomes law in the spirit realm. The truth does not need anyone's approval. It only needs to be declared by the chosen one. And you are that one. Now is the time to declare it. Now is the time to awaken the fire within you with your own words. Heaven is waiting for you. Hell is afraid of you. And destiny hinges on the next word you speak. Anointed ones, now is the time for your souls to enter the most holy place, not with a feeble whisper, but with a fire burning from within. We have not come here to repeat the old prayers. We have come to build an altar of our bodies, our souls, and the cry of our souls. When prayer becomes fire, heaven responds with thunder, and now is